So today what I want to do is make one of the money-saving recipes, one of the many money-saving recipes that you can make with your Thermomix. And this is a great recipe. I make it pretty much every week and have some every day as part of my breakfast. So it's a yogurt with a Red Berry Coulis. Very, very simple to do. So let's get going. So we want to put 200 grams of mixed red berries into the bowl. Now, I've just had some of these frozen strawberries in the freezer, so I'm just going to use those. It doesn't matter, they will work. And we want 200 grams. There we go. So it's going to have a lovely strawberry coulis on it. And now our next 40 grams of caster sugar. So, and this is one of the great things about your Thermomix recipes. If you're trying to cut back on the sugar, you can make this without the sugar in it. But a little bit of sugar is always nice. So we just put in our 40 grams of sugar. And then we're going to just put the lid on. And because we're going to be cooking at a high temperature, we put the simmering basket on top rather than the cap. And so now we're going to cook it for 8 minutes at 120 degrees on speed 1. So we just turn our selector to 1. And in 8 minutes time, we'll have the berries cooked up nicely and ready to blend. So I'll see you in 8 minutes. Okay, so 8 minutes is up. And you can see there's a bit of steam coming out through the top of the basket here. We take that off. And inside, you can see the berries there, all cooked up. It smells like delicious strawberry jam. So, what's our next step? We're going to put the measuring cup back into the lid. And then we're going to blend it for 3 seconds at speed 5. Now, that will be blended up beautifully. And let's have a look. We've got a beautiful red berry coulis, or this one's a strawberry coulis. So what I'm going to do now is take about a tablespoon and put a tablespoon into the bottom of each of these jars. I've got 8 of these jars. The yogurt jars, you can get them at the mix shop. They're about $24.95 for the 8 jars. They are fantastic. They come with this great silicone lid. They seal perfectly. So basically I just run them through the dishwasher. When they're dry, pop the lid on and store them till the next time I use them. It keeps the yogurt really nicely. So I'm just going to start putting my spoon of Red Berry Coulis into each container. I'm a bit messy in my way of doing it, but that's all right. And then once this goes in, we just let it sit to cool down, and we go on then to making the actual yogurt. So when you're going to make yogurt, you do need to set aside a chunk of time when you're not going to need to use your Thermomix, because it's a long, slow process of fermenting the milk. It takes about 10 hours. Generally, I do it overnight. So I set it up so it's ready about 5:30 or 6 in the morning when I get up. Alright, so now we're ready to get going with the actual yogurt. So first thing we need to do is just put a small bowl on top of the lid, and then we're going to weigh in 55 grams of natural yogurt. Now it's important when you are buying the yogurt that you make sure the yogurt has got some live cultures in it. The live cultures are important because that's what helps your yogurt to grow. I always get one that's got a bit of a vanilla flavour because I love vanilla. And then we're just going to put that aside because we're going to use that later. Next step is to put in a litre of milk. I always use Mullaney dairies because I really like their milk, and I like one of the reasons I like it is that they're not a big multinational, they're a small local company. So we just pop that milk in. And then without the measuring cup, we put the lid back on, and we're going to now heat it 10 minutes up to 80 degrees on speed 3. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you shortly. Right, so 10 minutes is up. The milk has heated. It's up to 80 degrees. So now we need to just let this sit for about 45 minutes to an hour for it to cool down. If we were to mix in the yogurt with this hot milk now, it would kill the live cultures in the yogurt. So we let it cool down to around 45 degrees. Now, how do you check the temperature? Quite simply, you just take your bowl out and place the bowl back in, and it will tell you the temperature. It's down to 75 already. So we'll just come back in about 45 minutes time, and it should be at the right temperature. Okay, so now the milk has cooled, and you can see here on the screen the temperature is down to 45. So let's see what we need to do next. We've allowed it to cool. So we want to take a little bit of this cooled yogurt and add it in, cooled milk, add it in to the yogurt. And then we mix that around together. Just give that a bit of a quick stir around. Beautiful. And then we add this yogurt mixture back into our milk. And then we're going to add in 50 grams of full cream milk powder. Now the reason we're putting this in is it just makes it that bit more creamy and delicious. And now we're going to just put the lid on and put the measuring cup in. And then we're going to just mix it around for 5 seconds on speed 4. And that's ready now to put into our reserved jars with the Berry Coulis in it. So the beauty of these jugs are that you can pour straight from there into here. So I'll just fill these up and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to start the fermentation process. So into our jug, we just want to put about 250 grams of water. A little bit more, but it doesn't really matter. And then we need to put in 30 grams of lemon juice, sorry. So I'm just going to squeeze some lemon juice into here. Now the reason we put lemon juice in here at this point in time is that because it's going to be low temperature for a very long period of time, there is a chance of some oxidization happening inside the jug. So if we put in a little bit of lemon juice, it just helps to stop that from happening. That was half of one lemon, and we'll just squeeze the other bit in. And that will just really help to ensure that we don't get any oxidization in the bowl. Okay, so then we're going to just put the lid on top, but instead of using the measuring cap or the steaming basket, we're going to place the Varoma on top. Now, into the Varoma, you can see I've stacked the 8 containers. And that's why I love the Thermomix yogurt containers, because they're made to fit the entire 8 into the Varoma, which is fantastic. You can probably get some other ones from other places, but they may not all fit. So that's what makes this fantastic. So we just put the Varoma lid on, and then we're just going to let it sit now for 10 hours. It will heat to 70 degrees. We're going to turn the selector to start the fermentation process. And we just leave that, and we will be back in 10 hours, and you'll be able to see some delicious yogurt.